Chapter 2. When I Got Pregnant. This chapter starts off with 20-year-old Mackie Washington, boyfriend Mike, and 17-month-old daughter Ebony. They live in a place in North Philly known as Strawberry Mansion. It is one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. The neighborhood they live in formed a kin network. Both of them were good students and received scholarships to college. There, they began to engage in unprotected sex. Mike was concerned about her getting pregnant, but she assured Mike if she did, she would get an abortion. She became pregnant and flipped the script on Mike. She decided to keep the baby. Mike wanted nothing to do with it, so he abandoned ship. He became mad and denied the kid. Finally, news reached Mike's mom and she convinced him it was wrong for him to make her get rid of the kid. Mike changed after that. He became indifferent towards her. He continued to work and she stayed at home. Mike went from being the perfect boyfriend to nothing because he could not support her with his McDonald's job. Like Mackie and Mike, pregnancy dramatically changed the lives of Antonia and Emilio. The change often happens in less than a year. They go from kicking it to pregnant where they realize they ignited a time bomb. Most women respond by making attempts to be serious about life for the baby's sake. On the other hand, young men react similar to Mike. They attempt to deny reality. It causes the relationship to move at the speed of light, because they go directly to parenthood. Expectant mothers change their view of themselves overnight. They make behavior changes for the sake of the baby. A powerful set of social expectations are activated. All of a sudden, the consequences of going out and drinking with friends becomes very steep. For she must endure the piercing sense contained in the disapproving glances and whispers of friends and strangers alike. Young men, on the other hand, are not subject to physical changes. Often their male peers encourage them to enjoy their freedom while they can. Pregnancy tests the mettle of soon-to-be mothers and fathers. Some rise to the occasion, while others don't. Over the 9 months of pregnancy, men who are initially devoted can falter. Few survive this period unscathed. The moment of birth often has some monetary power to heal these fractured relationships. Optimism and hope may return, and couples make promises to one another that they hope they can keep. All of a sudden, he wants his name on the birth certificate. A child is one of the few things a young man can say he has created, and one of the few ways he can make an early mark on the world. There are many different thoughts running through their minds. Fathers ditching out when they find out their girlfriend is pregnant, to show up or not to show up at the hospital. I want my kids to have a father, even if he ain't a good father. I don't want them to grow up without a dad like I did. Mother denies the rights of the father to see his child. Women choosing to stand up for themselves and their child when the father does come back around. Why should I give him that title? Why have a name of a father that's not there for her? Men clearly read the failure of the mother to give the child their name as a signal that they have failed her during pregnancy. Too little, too late. Reflections turn to enthusiasm. So men can change. It's a man thing. They're scared of the responsibility. How do we change this? When young women find out they're pregnant, they're terrified of their parents' response. They are afraid of being forced out of the house or abort the child. Victoria, a 16-year-old white mother of a 1-year-old, recalls her story of being scared of telling her mom. It was the worst thing imaginable. Even in poor communities, where young child rearing is normal, it is seen as a tragedy. The African American grandmother plays a powerful and symbolic role in the lives of their grandchildren. Even across the spectrum, most new moms turn to their moms for support. Ziora, a white 15-year-old mother, recalls how happy her boyfriend was when he found out he was going to be a father. After the birth, things dramatically changed. Pregnancy tests such as ultrasounds are indications of the drastic changes ahead. This concludes Chapter 3. For any questions or further inquiry, read the book.